STICKERMANIA from Louisville, Kentucky, Saturday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live stream. How's it going out there? We got Sticker granddaughter helping out here. She's hiding her face.
I'm showing the papers.
How's it going out there today?
Mr. Beatles
Mr.
Pro.
Beatles Pro
How
said
you doing, Tom?
I must be early.
You here early or are we late? What's going on out there today? It's about 85 degrees here in Louisville, Kentucky. No rain today. How's the temperatures going to start cooling down in the next month for sure?
Thomas Crook said hello, Sticker
How you
family.
doing, Thomas Crook? It was great to meet you there at the Fest for Beatle Fans, Chicago 2025.
It's 2025.
2025, you know what I said?
That's what he said. I don't know what she's thinking.
No, it's 20. Danny
Costello
No. Danny Goldstein.
Goldstein.
Say hi, folks.
How you doing, Danny?
I was thinking about Costello. Little Beatles Corner said hi, Frank and family.
How you doing, Patricia?
T-shirt Express said hello, everybody.
T-shirt Express, I bought your Now and Then clock you put on eBay today.
Dave Evans said good evening, Sticker family.
How you doing, Dave Evans? We did send out your 2 pressings, Sgt. Pepper and the Beatles.
Wolfie Baby said Sticker family.
Wolfie Baby is in the house.
And then Mr. Beatles Pro said a little of both. I'm early, you're late, LOL.
Huh. Our next interview live stream with Mikey Arugula and Uncle Paul is going to be on September 10th on a Wednesday, the day before Bourbon and Beyond starts here in Louisville.
I haven't seen Uncle Paul lately in the chat.
On Thursday night, September 11th, we got Benson Boone as a headliner. September 12th, we have Fish, the band that's like Grateful Dead. And on Saturday, September 13th, the one we're going to, we got Ringo Starr and his all-star band, Jack White and the Pixies.
Jeff Coley said, howdy, Frank.
How you doing, Jeff?
Danny Goldstein said the pictures arrived. John Small thinks they're very cool.
Oh, you got the Hassels pictures. Yeah, we made those from contacts. I'm glad they turned out good. They did. I was going to go down there and pick up some new prints I had made of the Rolling Stones in '64 and the Animals and Dusty Springfield on Hullabaloo 1966, but they weren't done today. But I'll get them on Monday. I'll have them for next Wednesday.
T-shirt Express said yes, thank you. Novus Nick said hello, Frank and Sticker family.
How you doing, Novus Nick?
Tap the like button, folks. That's what Novus Nick said.
So talking about the Connie, I know how to say this right now thanks to the man that Mikey Arugula interviewed on Telestore YouTube channel the other day, a 90-minute interview with Richard Adler. And he bought all the furniture from Connie's office, and he pronounced her name Connie DeNavi.
The Navi, yeah.
Connie DeNavi. She was from Europe, and so that's how you pronounce her name. That's her book. It's on Amazon, The Image Maker. She died last year at 91 years old. I got most of her negatives and a lot of interesting things from her estate auction that was in Indianapolis.
Thomas Craig said it was great to meet you and Travis.
Yep.
Not me?
Yeah, you met her too. Thomas Crook was in our live stream video there with Tom Beatle Pro and Gus Lopez and Mazzy. Thomas Crook was at supper time, so he was only in there for about a minute. So from the Connie DeNavi estate collection, I had these prints made. These 5 prints from the Rolling Stones' first interview in America, June 2nd, 1964. And see how they didn't even thought it was a waste of time to put their names. They just put Rolling Stone 5, Rolling Stone 4, Rolling Stone 3, Rolling Stone 2. And we have Mick Jagger as Rolling Stone 1 on this one. But these 5 prints, 6 prints, they're up on my eBay. Show my eBay store then.
eBay store, STICKERMANIA
Where?
2853. Oh,
That set of prints is up on my eBay store at $200. It's pretty expensive to get these prints made from the original negatives. You got the Les Crane Show. It was only recorded for the New York area, and it was wiped out the next week when they made another TV show, and the video does not exist anymore. Charlie Watts, either high or seriously thinking about something. Charlie Watts was Rolling Stone 5, Bill Wyman was Rolling Stones 4, and Brian Jones was Rolling Stone 3. So you know how the henpeck was, who was 2 and 1. I guess you could smoke cigarettes on a TV show at the time. I think they did on Johnny Carson too.
You.
There is Les Crane over here. And all 5 of the Rolling Stones. They were busy that first day in America, and the second day they went to Hollywood, and they were on the Hollywood Palace.
Okay. Henry Garcia said, "How you doing in Kentucky? Hi from Cali."
From where?
Cali, California.
California. California, California, here we come.
I am one of us said hello. Mr. Beatles Pro said, "Hard to believe it's almost September."
September, that's correct. Right around the corner.
Cindy Bowen said gas.
Cincy Bowen.
Cincy Bowen said gas.
Gas.
You just say it's fire, meaning the show's fire.
Oh, it's a gas, gas, gas. What song is that from? There's a little trivia question for you.
Sergeant Pepper.
It's a gas, gas, gas.
Sergeant Pepper.
No, wrong band. The band I just talked about.
Oh, I forgot. Danny Goldstein said, "I read something very cool today. Les Crane was married in 1965 to Tina Louise, Ginger from
All right,
Gilligan's Island.
Tina Louise
Tina Louise.
from Gilligan's Island.
Polly Hawaii said, "Hello, everyone."
How you doing, Polly? It's good to meet you in Chicago. We talked for a while. You were really nice.
Jumpin' Jack Flash.
Jumpin' Jack Flash by the Rolling Stones, 1969. 1968.
Polly gave the answer, then after that, Wolfie Baby said it too.
First time I ever heard Jumpin' Jack Flash and Honky Tonk Women on an AM radio when I was 14, 15 years old. I never can ever forget that moment.
Were radios around when you were born?
AM radios. A little AM dial radio.
Oh, cool.
And I don't know if we had FM in the cars then or not. We might have, 8 tracks were just came in about that time.
Then probably not.
Butcher cover, the latest one that I peeled, a Third State 1966 stereo from the East Coast, number 2 from Scranton, Pennsylvania. Came out with an excellent peel. Faces are real good. Just had a few problems on that top corner. And it's on my STICKERMANIA 2853 store at $1,999. There's a removed trunk slick. It's in behind plastic. I don't really want to take it out. It's pretty fragile. Anthology. What do you guys think about the anthology?
3, 2, 1, give a like.
3, 2, 1, give a like.
I don't know, I think that's what he said.
Anthology. Have you guys heard the new remix of Free as a Bird? What do you think of that? It's a lot different. Talk a little bit about the anthology. 1, 2, and 3 are all being remastered with the new MAL technology that Peter Jackson has. And the early tracks have really been improved. And all the live tracks on Anthology 1, and there's some live tracks on Anthology 2. The screaming's reduced. They said it's the best you'll ever hear of All My Lovin' on the first performance of the Ed Sullivan Show. And the shout, the shout that's from Around the Beatles, the edits have been repaired by Giles Martin, so it sounds better than it did on the first anthology.
Mr. Beatles Pro said too expensive for what you get as far as I'm concerned.
I ordered the album set with the 4 photo prints. They only made 8,500 of that edition, but they're still available, so it's not selling as fast as the Beatles in Mono 2025.
Thomas Crook said Praise the Bird sounded good.
Yeah, I think the Praise the Bird, when we finally get the release in November 21st, should get back on the charts again.
The Elvis Cup guy said, hi, Mr. Stickermania.
How you doing, Elvis Cup guy?
Johnny Ramone said, New Real Love sounds great. And Wolfie Baby said, I think I'll pass unless Anthology 4 is returned as a standalone.
Yeah, we don't know if that's going to happen or not, but it probably will eventually. So, is the Real Love, I don't think the new Real Love 2025 mix has been released yet, but I could be wrong.
Do we have to do a giveaway?
But they just show a 30-second clip, I think, on the when they're promoting the anthology box set. All right, let's talk about the 2014 mono box set.
Is that for me?
Very funny.
2014 mono box set. This is not the 2025. This is the first release of the 2014 box set. Got the original paperwork, and it's got a date of 2014 down there on the bottom.
There we go.
So this is the way it was. This is kind of like an original Beatles pressing. They're going to sound better if they're from the original lacquers and masters freshly after they've just been remixed in 2014. So this is going to sound better than the 2025, and it's not going to have all the flaws the 2025 had, such as the White Album not being glued down right. And there were some scratches on the 2025 also. But this is on my STICKERMANIA 2853 eBay store. Somebody bought 2 of these in 2014. I got a hold of one of them. Never been removed from the box set, from the shipping box. We got 3 trivia questions concerning it. And I'll give away these other 2 sealed 1999 Beatles Yellow Submarine Polar Lights model kits, Ringo and George.
I said I wanted one.
Oh, I don't like it. Too bad.
I'll win.
Good luck.
Here are the questions concerning the 2014 mono box set.
Hold on. Patricia Lobia's score said, I'm up for the remaster anthology. I got the limited vinyl and the CD set.
So she bought the vinyl and the CD set. I just bought the vinyl.
Nova Nick said, my 2025 Beatles mono box is flawless at Frank.
All right, that's
And
good.
then Henry said, just picked up McCartney 3 for $8 at a local Goodwill here.
All right. All right, here are the 3 trivia questions on the 2014 mono box set to win these 2 sealed 1999 Yellow Submarine Polar Light model kits. All your answers need to be in the same message.
Or it will not get red.
All right. What date was the 2014 mono box set? When was it first issued? What was the release date? Question 2. What was the original price within $5 of the 2014 Beatles and mono box set in American dollars? What was the price? And number 3, what Beatles related project was promoted inside the box set? Those are your 3 questions. Do it again. What date was the release date in 2014 of the 2014 Beatles in Mono box set? Question 2, what was the original price of the 2014 Beatles in Mono box set within $5? It's in the paperwork in here. And what Beatles related project was promoted in the box set in the literature? Anybody answer?
Right.
Not yet.
Easy.
There we go. Got 35 in here, but they ain't got it yet. No one's answered.
What was the date that the box set was released in 2014?
They heard.
What was the
Could be commercial.
suggested retail price on the first release of the 2014 in Mono box set within $5? And what Beatles related project
Greg Fields on first.
was promoted in the box set? Gregory Fio. Where are you at?
Right there. At the bottom.
No, isn't.
Ollie's next.
Nope. Polly. You're close, Polly. Real close.
Alright, just nothing else. Don't say nothing else. Keep going, y'all. Don't say nothing else.
Polly is awful darn close.
I'm trying to figure it out.
It's,
Thomas, correct.
the price were off. Polly was closer.
Okay. No one wins, I win.
Polly, give another answer. Anybody else?
Not yet.
It costs a lot more than $125, guys.
Just you.
Nothing else yet, right?
We're gonna give it to Polly.
Oh.
She was within $10.
That's
Way to go, Polly. You haven't won, I don't think, in one of our contests yet, so good job. So the official date of release was September 9th of 2014. The price it says here is $337. She said $350. That's probably close enough with tax and shipping and everything else. And the Love Show was promoted on all the literature inside the albums, and the Love Show doesn't exist anymore. They've tore down the Mirage Hotel in Las Vegas. Good job, Polly. Congratulations. I'll be
Good job.
sending these out to you. $125. How could they sell that for $125?
I would.
All right, we're through that.
She says thank you.
You're welcome. When you talk about prices, I know if you get close, it could be different for different areas of the country. So the Mikey Arugula did a great interview with Richard Adler. You need to check that out on his son's YouTube channel, Telsador. How do you say that? Desor. You know how to say it? Tell her,
No, his channel. No, I don't.
So Richard Adler, I'm going to get his book, My Rock and Roll Fantasy. In the interview, Richard went to the first Carnegie Hall show on February 2nd to see the Beatles. He went to the February 28th, 1964 and saw both shows of the 28th and 29th of the Beatles at Forest Hills Stadium. And he was at both 1965 and 66 Beatles at Shea Stadium. That's pretty amazing.
Brett Parnell said, do you still have those Funkos? My friend Adam, who has a YouTube channel with over 50
The Funkos went out right away after I showed them.
Well,
They sold for $350.
Well, if you did, his friend with 50,000 would have collabed with you.
No, man.
And Greg Fio said, mint 225, oops, fat fingers. And George Music said, hello to all.
Hello, George Music. And this Richard Adler also went to the afternoon show with a concert for Bangladesh. So that's quite a resume of seeing the Beatles in concert.
Spell Mikey's
So you
channel.
need to check out that 90-minute interview. It's pretty interesting. He also went to the, next time I talk to Mikey on one of our live streams, I need to ask him, were the Monkey fans into Jimi Hendrix at all when Jimi Hendrix opened for the Monkees at Forest Hill Stadium? I kind of doubt it. I imagine Mikey Arugula didn't even know who Jimi Hendrix was when he opened up for the Monkees. He would have only been about 13 years old. Uncle Paul from Uncle Paul's Beatles Pop Playhouse has a new video.
I got one right here. I got it. Right here.
He's got a new video. Check it out. Do you have your bazooka, Joe?
No, I don't.
All
A Little
right.
Beatles Corner said spell Mikey's channel.
Do what?
Spell Mikey's channel.
Oh, hold on.
Right here, dude.
You got it written down.
TELADESOR.
Spell it again.
TELADESOR. That's where all Mikey's interviews are on his son's channel. I talked about the anthology on the Spotify charts right now. Back to Friends by Sombra is #1, and Love Me Not by Ravane Lene is #3, and Chapel's #4 with the Subway. But on some of the Spotify charts, that K-pop Demon Hunters tracks from that new, you don't call it animated movie, what do you call it? Anime? They have 7 out of the top 10 Spotify tracks in the world from that one movie. I'm going to have to break down and watch it on Netflix because I heard one of our employees at the grocery store I just retired from, he knew all about that movie, and he says the music's really good.
Who?
And the movie's really good. One that works at the service now. A couple notes of what I sold. The Circle, that 7-inch promo I had from the Beatles fan club, sold to Sarah Schmidt, that did the book on the Beatles official fan club. I talked to her before the collectors panel in Chicago. She was real nice. Sarah Schmidt, shout out to you. You bought my The Circle 7-inch promo from the Beatles fan club. Chapel performed in Reading last night, and she's performing in Leeds. Show me that Who album. The Who, 55 years after this performance by The Who live at Leeds, Chapel is there tonight. Last night she had 90,000 people doing the hot to go dance all at the same time. There's not too many artists ever to command a audience like that besides Queen, Freddie Mercury and Queen, and David Bowie. So shout out to Chapel. That'd be tough to follow her in a concert. I think everybody would be leaving after the Chapel concert. Bourbon and Beyond, I talked about. That's November 11th through the 14th. And Billy Joel, Artie Rip, I got some notes about him. So there's the first album that was released on Columbia, The Piano Man. And if you notice on the record label, besides Columbia, it also says Family Production, Family Productions. And that was because Artie Rip owned part of Billy Joel's music, and he made on all the early Columbia Billy Joel albums, they put that Family Productions. There's one with the hype sticker, 1983, Glass Houses. And another hype sticker, because you know I'm all about the hype stickers. I'm Mr. STICKERMANIA and Innocent Man. Let's see if they still got the Family Productions on here. Yep, even on the 85 pressings, they still have family productions because of Artie Rip. Artie Rip made a lot of money off of Billy Joel.
Appreciate you, Johnny Ramone. He said big shout out to Sticker Kid, Travis, and Ariel for making STICKERMANIA happen.
Thanks.
Very much appreciate it.
The Clash, we got some other hype stickers in. I showed this on a short, 1977, how music changed so much. This is the album that hit me. Never Mind the Bullocks. Here's the Sex Pistols. When the Sex Pistols broke up and Johnny Rotten had public image, I saw him at Bogart's in Cincinnati in the late 80s. And talk about a standing room only concert audience that you couldn't move unless the audience moved. It was so jam-packed. But towards the end, Johnny did he did God Save the Queen and Anarchy in the UK. This is a USA late 70s pressing. If you have a real early pressing like Mazzy's got, there's no tracks listed on here. And the second pressing didn't have a submission listed on the back. So this would be a third pressing. In 1977, The Clash came out. And that was a big thing in punk too. And then this is their big album that I thought broke in the United States. Combat Rock. And this is not Joe Strummer. Somebody pointed out this is, I wrote it down somewhere, but not sure. Tripper something, the drummer. But that is cool. It has that hype sticker on the shrink. And then I got a couple other Clash. This is a 3-album set. I think it's worth some money. However you say that. I can't say it. Sandinista. It retailed for $14.94 in the 80s. That'd been a lot of money for a record album back then. And then 1985 with the hype sticker, Cut the Crap. That's my punk moment.
Alright, so Brad Parnell, which I think you had these before, but I think I read them. Do you have any of those Chew Bops Beatles miniature albums from the 1980s?
I've had whole full boxes of them, even in the shipping box and the box that advertised them in the store, but I've sold those a long time ago. Yeah. I might have a couple extras in the other room, but that would be it. All right, show some more things. You got some more questions? Talk about the Connie Denavi collection. This was in her office that Richard Adler bought all her furniture. This was her personal scrapbook from her career. And it had that great big picture of Frank Sinatra and the father of Jed. What was Jed's name on Beverly Hillbillies? I'm not going to come up with the name. He was a boxer, Max Baer, I think, from the 40s. And there's a picture of Connie with Ed Sullivan. Connie and her husband, Ed Sullivan and Leslie Gore. Big picture there of Connie Denavi. She was a public relations person for all the British invasion groups, pretty much, besides the Beatles. Connie and her, not sure who she's with there. There's the Connie with the animals at the airport. She promoted the animals. And I got one with her promoting these are the contact sheets when she promoted Tom Jones. That's Tom Jones coming to the airport. That's a pretty cool scrapbook. There were a lot of other Rolling Stones and photos I took out of there.
Dave Evans said Jethro, Little Beatles coin said I got the Combat Rock and London Calling, and then Johnny Mom said, what would it be? Sand and Nesta?
Yeah.
That's how he's saying that you pronounce it.
So here are all the groups that Connie was a public relations for, charge of: the Rolling Stones, the Bull Brummels. This one's hand signed. I sold 5 of these pictures already. This is on my STICKERMANIA 2853 store at $59. Signed by all the members of the Bull Brummels. Their big hits was Just a Little and their other big hit, and I'm not coming up right now with it. Just a Little, Laugh Laugh.
Patricia wanted to know, did Connie work for an agency or was she on her own?
She was her boss. She was a boss. She
So
worked for Dick Clark in the 50s, and then they got rid of her because they thought because she was a woman, and then she hired all women and had a public relations office in New York, and she was in charge of it.
That's pretty good.
But she had a chance to do the Beatles, and had a meeting with Brian Epstein, but that didn't work out because their egos clashed. She said she could never put up with Brian Epstein.
Well, you said that he told her she had to get rid of all.
Yeah, I had to get rid of all the other band.
Yeah, that ain't gonna work.
She was Connie Denavi under the Yardbirds there. Wayne Fontana and the Mindbenders. That's a young Eric Stewart. What Paul McCartney track did Eric Stewart perform on? There's a little trivia question for it. Many years later. Dave Clark 5. The Animals, when Alan Price was still in the group. And Manford Mann, there she is greeting them at the airport. Manford Mann, Doo-Wah Diddy. And the song that McCartney had Eric Stewart on, I thought was So Bad. If you watch the video of So Bad, Eric Stewart is in that video.
What a trailblazer she was. Yeah, I mean,
You know, you need to read her book. It's really interesting. Can you put that scrapbook back now?
Yeah.
So Mikey was talking about the 3 radio stations in the New York area when the Beatles came. WMCA. There's the Rolling Stones being interviewed. They gave them all sweatshirts. WMCA, good guys. There they are with Murray the K on WINS, Wins. And then the other station was WABC with Cousin Brucey. There's one picture here, it's pretty cool. They're interviewing Keith Richards, and behind him you can see the album cover of the Beatles' second album, which I'm sure was the most played album at the time, in June of 1964 when they were being interviewed on the Murray the K show. All right, let's show the paint by number.
did you fall in?
Yes.
All right, I've got these paint your own Beatles. Mikey Arugula got the sealed John Lennon one. I still have a sealed George Harrison and Ringo Starr, but I only brought George with me today. These are real fragile.
Can I paint them?
So the last 2.
Paint by numbers, the Beatles, pretty rare. It's number 103, George. Ringo was 102, and John was 104, and Paul McCartney was 105.
Brad Parnell said Eric was also in the Take It Away video. He worked with Paul a lot during the early
Take it away.
1980s.
So this is, if you're interested in this, send me an email through my Mr_StickerMania at yahoo.com. And I'll try to work out a deal with you, but these are expensive.
Danny Goldstein said Cousin Brucey still does a show on WABC. In fact, it's on tonight.
Wow. Cousin Brucey, how old would Cousin Brucey be? Would he be 80 years old?
80,000. James Farley said, hello, Stickermania. Do you have a 1976 record divider for rock and roll music that they used to have in record stores?
1976? No.
Okay. And Danny
You
said,
like my medium-sized shirt? I got this from Rockaway Records. Where's the yellow bag?
Danny said he's 90.
90 years old and still on the radio. Wow. He's like a Jack Delane. Because Mikey had a question for me, or a trivia question for me the other day. Where did Jumpin' Jacks come from? And it was Jack Delane. So Rockaway, I buy some stuff from him, Wayne Johnson and Gary Johnson out in LA every once in a while. And this is a original, show me that Ringo shirt. There's original medium-sized Ringo, 1973 for the Ringo album. And this is original 1975 for the Goodnight Vienna album. Size medium, and I'm 71 years old and I can still wear it. That's pretty good.
Brad says Cousin Brucey's 89.
89.
And then do Greg Fio.
Greg Fio said Eric was in Give Me My Regards to Broad Street.
Yeah, I was in the movie. I was going to say that.
He'll be 90 in October, I guess.
So the Dave Clark 5, when Connie this came out of her file cabinet. So these are handbooks to promote the Dave Clark 5 in 64, 65. But this one here came out of her filing cabinet, and it's got notes where Dave Clark and Rick Huskley corrected all the mistakes in this book. It says, Dave, as you suggested, I'm leaving this with Rick. Make any corrections, additions, etc. you feel necessary and mail this back to me. Nola, she must have worked for Connie. But throughout this book, there are handwritten notes by one of the members of the Dave Clark 5 of all the mistakes in the book. How many times they were on Ed Sullivan, what were their big hits. All the TV shows they were on. It says they were on Ed Sullivan, Dean Martin, ABC Color, Greetings, The Entertainment, Shindig, Hullabaloo, and The Happening. But that's cool. It's got handwritten notes on every page to correct all the mistakes that the Dave Clark 5 thought was in this handbook. That's a pretty rare piece right there. How the Dave Clark 5 began. I got all kinds of stuff from her filing cabinet that I've only gone through the main group so far.
Parnell said Eric Stewart worked on 4 McCartney albums from Tug of War to Press to Play.
Yeah, thanks. That was Brad Parnell.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's our local
Beatle.
I showed this on Mikey's interview. If you haven't checked that out, last Wednesday, Every Little Thing Beatles, episode 11, when I got the wingdings from Mazzy in the mail. This was part of Mazzy's collection. The blue sneakers, 5.5 size women, has the original tissue for wingdings, Beatles wingdings from 1964. And Mazzy sent me, he wrote this book with his buddy David Bacon in 1982, one of the first Beatle books put out on places to go to in England. We went in the 80s, and there was only one little van that took you to the Beatles birthplaces and the cavern and stuff in Liverpool. It's like the whole city just wasn't into it at the time. But boy, that sure changed. But he wrote Norman Maslow autograph. And look at this cool picture they have at the end of Mazzy when he was young in 1982, and David Bacon dressed up as the butcher man with meat, holding on to pieces of meat.
Ew.
Look at that.
Ew. Disgusting.
So the butcher cover, I think Jack White has a paste over where the racketeers are dressed up in the butcher coats. I've never been able to get a hold of that paste over. You saw where Mikey got a hold of that Beatles second album, or the Beatles Something New, that has the Beatles second album underneath it. Tom Beatles Pro agrees with me that just must have been a fluke, a mistake at the factory, that they put the wrong slick on the cover and they just made a quick decision to cover it up. But it has to be a one of a kind. There can't be too many of them. Well, that's some other things to show. I didn't show this very good in Mikey's. This is the original first issue of a Beatles fan club. Greetings, 1963, November. Only released in England. The Beatles fan club didn't exist in the United States yet.
I should have been born in England.
And this, Perry Cox sold one of these for, I think, $700. There's no rust on the staples there. And the flexi disc is still in excellent condition. That's on my STICKERMANIA 20, or my eBay store, STICKERMANIA 2853. Well, it's got some other things I don't think I've shown yet. Anybody's interested in my Can't Buy Me Love, this could be sold next week. I got 2 interested people in this from south of the border. My near mint Can't Buy Me Love picture sleeve. $1,800. So the Beatles' first visit, this is the laser disc. We'll see when we watch that documentary on Disney Plus how well, if they add any more songs from the Beatles February 11th Washington D.C. concert, because you know in the Beatles 64 documentary how well Peter Jackson has made the sound on that and everything. I hope they add more to it in that documentary that's coming out on Disney Plus. So I heard the first Thanksgiving weekend, November 26th, they're going to put out the first 3 episodes, and then I don't know if they're going to space them by a couple weeks. There'll be 3, and then the following week there might be 3 more, and then another week there'll be the last 3, including episode 9. That's all going to be new released video from the 1994 and 1995 Threedles sessions. Threedles. Paul, George, Ringo. John wasn't with us anymore in 95. That's why they're called the Threedles.
John's the best one.
So this purple label, VJ Please Please Me, sold today on eBay. My STICKERMANIA 2853 eBay store at $188. That's the rarest label version to get of Please Please Me, unless you get the promo. Got any questions for me?
Is your name Frank?
It could be Frank.
Good question.
2 days ago was the 60th anniversary of the Beatles coming to Minneapolis.
That was Indianapolis.
Show my autograph notebook one more time. There are the Beatles being interviewed, and 60 years ago in Minneapolis. And this was signed for the the chauffeur took him from the airport to the Metropolitan Stadium in Bloomington, Minnesota, where the concert was. You got August 21st of 1965. That's the way Ringo Starr would sign the Beatles. There's only two Beatles that would sign the Beatles most of the time. Which Beatles was it? They were proud to write the Beatles. And another hint, they're still alive, both of them.
Oh, I was right.
Paul McCartney. He underlined his autograph there. John Lennon. It's hard to get a full autograph from John Lennon.
Brad Parnell said, luckily no one is calling Ball and Ringo the Twiddles.
Yep. George Harrison. And it's got the Larry, the chauffeur's COA, and it has COAs from Trax and Paul Wayne of Trax, the UK, and Frank Azio, the premier Beatles autograph authenticator. That is on my STICKERMANIA 2853 store. I'm pretty sure for around $8,000.
I was going to guess 10,000.
I got this from Joe Hilton, Beetle Bay, or Beetle Bay, Mr. Beetle Bay.
Beatles beat.
All right, let's put that away.
Thank you.
That was a heavy hitter, the 60th anniversary. Got this from the Joe Hilton collection. Here are the Beatles Tell-All original 1964 mono that doesn't have promo on the labels. The rarest version of that pressing. Here are the Beatles Tell-All. It says by Jim Steck. Interviews John Lennon on that side. And Dave Hull interviews John, Paul, George, and Ringo on the other side. A few more things and then we'll be about done tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Rolling Stones got a near mint, hardly played, excellent condition first press of Exile on Main Street. You know, the first pressings were this Unipack cover that the early customers didn't like, and they had to switch it to a gatefold. Has all 12 postcards still attached. Kind of hard to show them all because there's 12 of them. And it's got all artisan labels, all artisan logos on the dead wax, even side one of Exile on Main Street. And this is a RI pressing, which means they were pressed in Richmond, Indiana. So Indiana had the Richmond, Indiana pressing plant, and they also had the modern plant where they printed the butcher cover slicks in 1966. I'll show you side one here. It's tough to get an Exile on Main Street that has a artisan logo on the side one. So this is one time when a Rolling Stone pressing is better in the United States than the United Kingdom. Is the Exile on Main Street because it was mixed by Mick Jagger out in LA for a couple weeks.
Patricia said, did that VJ originally have a red inner sleeve?
Yes.
William Yance said, hello Frank, glad to see you're still enjoying music.
Who's that?
William Yance.
William Yance.
Yance.
Yance?
Yeah.
Yep, still enjoying it.
Who's that?
Not sure. Are you guys excited about the John Lennon Live and Power to the People coming out in October? That's the laser disc of that. And I have the laser disc of still laser disc of the anthology. And Beetle Babe says that all the video releases of the anthology all have differences. So I'm sure there's differences in this Laserdisc also. None of them are exactly alike. They kept revising it as it went along.
I'm selling this paper for $10,000.
1987,
Free shipping.
Sgt. Pepper HMV box set, seal sealed inside. Andrew from Polygram Auction says this is one of the top 5 pressings of Sgt. Pepper of all time. The very first pressing of Sgt. Pepper on CD. Cut from the master tapes at Abbey Road. It's got a booklet and it's got a little button that says, "It was 20 years ago today, HMV." 1987, that doesn't seem like a long time ago. Figure that in years, that's a long time ago.
Buy my paper.
Got one more of these Revolver box sets left with the t-shirt from Target where they misspelled Revolver on the side.
Exactly.
What?
What George Music said. You are learning, sticker granddaughter.
Exactly, I'm learning how to
Pay
say it.
attention.
This is the White Album box set from 2018, which would have been 7 years ago. I have a couple of these. It's on my STICKERMANIA 2853 store. I think the CD and the Blu-ray goes for more money than the album set because it has all the outtakes.
It was touched by Paul and Ringo.
And we got 3 BC13s to show the difference in the covers. This is the blue from English from the United Kingdom. And this is the Australia. It's in the lid lifts right off. It's got one of the best pressings of Sgt. Pepper in there before the Audio 5 came out. The BC13 opens from the top like that. And then the one in France is a darker, almost black. And it opens from the top with an insert for all the albums. And the Rarities is a different pressing.
Ow. Ow.
Insert has one of the best pressings ever of Abbey Road in that box set. And then the Rarities. That's what a Rarities looks like from France. And then you know the one from, I don't think I have a United Kingdom one. I'll show the Australian one.
Stop breaking.
And let's see if we can get the Rarities right there. Pull that Rarities out. That's how the different Rarities came out. The United Kingdom and France, or the France came out like the one in the United States. The United Kingdom was that dark blue. That goes in that one. And that goes in that one.
What's this?
That's my difference of box sets that goes in there. And we showed this, that T-shirt Express had the other day, where I can't remember his name, it was Michael. He professionally painted one of these. We showed pictures of it on Mikey Arugula's live stream.
I asked if I could paint it and you never answered.
The what? You got any questions? I thought you had a few that I haven't answered.
No, I want to paint it. That's my question.
I thought you said Patricia.
Who's Patricia?
No, that was that
Oh,
one.
never mind.
You did that one already.
All right, we got at least 45 minutes.
We are at almost an hour, 4 minutes away from an hour.
4 minutes to go. 4 minutes to go. You got any questions?
Oh, dang it.
So I have all the original negatives when Freddie and the Dreamers and the Animals and Dusty Springfield were on Hullabaloo that I'll be getting back next week. Prints of the whole Hullabaloo show that I'll show next Wednesday.
T-shirt said paint the butchers.
Oh, I will. I'll sell
Paint the
them.
Butcher.
He said that little stand, he told him to stand, or told her to paint it.
Rolling Stones, the first day they came to America, June 2nd, 1964. So the Beatles came February 7th, And the Rolling Stones didn't come for what's that, 5 months, 4 or 5 months later. And then that's one of the most expensive prints I've had because there's hardly any pictures of the Rolling Stones at Carnegie Hall. It doesn't show them on stage, but it shows the girls all in dressing gowns, all dressed to the hilt to get into Carnegie Hall, but then they all stand on their seats and went crazy and said, "I love Keith." Got pictures of Brian Jones. 3 girls have pictures of Brian Jones.
Well, if your baby said, Frank, what did you say about the arts and paint and Excel on Main Street?
Plant
Okay.
What about
in the Exile on Main Street.
What about the artisan?
What did you say
about it? He wanted to know what
artisan logo and the matrices. That's how you want to get the best pressing of Exile on Main Street.
So he asked you what you said about him.
What about Shingding?
Artisan logo and the dead wax is how you get the very first pressing mastered from the original master tapes of the Rolling Stones, Exile on Main Street. The best pressing in the world. Got to have an artisan logo on all 4 sides.
Red Parnell said, what about Shingding? I love Donna Lauren.
Shindig? Yeah, well, I have all the Shindigs on, it's not a legal DVD, but I have I can't remember if there was 76 episodes of Shindig. The Beatles were on one time in England.
Danny Goldstein said, what about Hullabaloo Boo? I love Terry Gray.
Who?
Hullabaloo.
I love Terry Garr. Yes, Terry Garr was one of the dancers on Hullabaloo. She was also one of the dancers at the Tammy Show when the Rolling Stones were there in late 1964, the Tammy Show with the Chuck Berry and Jerry and the Pacemakers, Jan and Dean, the Rolling Stones, the Beach Boys. Can you imagine going to that show? It was on for 2 nights in a row, and they took the best bits and made the movie out of it.
What about Nicki Minaj? I love Nicki Minaj. Everyone give a like, subscribe, and I will see you on Wednesday.
Wednesday, come back and we'll have some more prints from the Connie Nave collection, and I have some other things coming. So check with us next Wednesday. Thanks for everybody joining in tonight, and we will be back on Wednesday, and then the following Wednesday we'll do Every Little Beatles Thing, episode number 12 with Mikey Arugula and Uncle Paul.
It's not the following one.
Everyone,
Uncle Paul.
It's the one after.
The week September 10th. I said the following Wednesday.
Okay, I thought you said next
Everyone
one.
convince him to let me paint.
All right, she's gonna paint the butcher cover. Thanks.